Imagine losing everything in a single moment. Your family. Your home. Your entire world. Now imagine rebuilding your life not from anger or hatred, but from forgiveness. In 1994, a mass slaughter in Rwanda left between 500,000 and 1 million Rwandan people dead. One young woman hid in a bathroom, no larger than 3 feet by 4 feet, with 7 other women for 91 days. And her story doesn't end in despair. It ends in something far more powerful. Today, we're diving into the survival stories that prove the human spirit isn't just about physical endurance, it's about something psychology and faith reveal when we're tested to our absolute limits. But here's what makes these survival stories different. They're not just about escaping danger. They're about what happens inside when danger won't stop coming. And science is finally catching up to what survivors have always known. Let's start with the numbers. Research demonstrates that religious belief and practice correlate with measurable reductions in anxiety, depression, and mortality risk across large population studies. That's not spiritual talk. That's neuroscience. But understanding why that works requires us to enter actual survival situations. In 1994, Immaculée Ilibagiza, a Rwandan-American author and motivational speaker, was a college student when she survived during the Rwandan genocide. She wasn't a survival expert. She wasn't trained. She was just a young woman forced into an impossible reality. During the genocide, most of her family, her mother, father, and 2 brothers, was killed by Hutu Interahamwe soldiers. All of them. Gone. For 91 days, Immaculée and 7 other women huddled silently in the small bathroom while the genocide raged outside. While in hiding, anger and resentment were destroying Immaculée's mind, body, and spirit. It was then that Immaculée turned to prayer. This is the critical moment. This is where most survival stories hit a wall. But this one didn't. Intrinsic religious orientation, faith motivated by internal meaning, produces stronger mental health benefits than extrinsic orientation motivated primarily by social or material gain. She wasn't praying to escape. She was praying to survive what couldn't be escaped. This is what changes everything. But prayer alone didn't save her. What saved her was a choice that, when you hear what it cost, will reshape how you think about faith. To save her own life, she was forced to hide in a bathroom with 7 other women at a nearby pastor's house for 91 days. 91 days. No space. Limited food. The sound of death just outside the door. The Hutu extremists searched for Immaculée 8 times, even touching the door handle of the bathroom before deciding to leave the house. 8 times they almost found her. When she emerged, emaciated and unable to walk, Immaculée learned that nearly 1 million people were murdered, including her parents and 2 brothers. At this point, most survivors' stories end with, "and I survived." But Immaculée's story was just beginning. Because now came the choice that psychology calls post-traumatic growth, but what she called something else, forgiveness. She recalls not being able to say, "As we forgive those who trespass against us," in the Lord's Prayer. While she was hiding in a bathroom for 91 days during the genocide, being hunted by men she knew, men who were her neighbors, she just could not bring herself to forgive their trespasses. She couldn't forgive. But she kept trying. She kept praying, and God helped her forgive her enemies. She came to understand the mercy of God and how mercy gives people the opportunity to change. This isn't sentimentality. Through faith, individuals often find a path to recovery that not only restores their mental health but fosters spiritual transformation and personal development. Post-traumatic growth, facilitated by faith, enables individuals to transcend their suffering and emerge stronger, with a deepened sense of meaning and purpose in life. But here's what nobody expects: Immaculée's story isn't actually about what happened to her. It's about what happened in her. Most people think survival is about willpower. Raw determination. Gritting your teeth and refusing to quit. And sometimes it is. But studies have shown that it is not how devout disaster survivors are that makes the difference in their post-disaster adaptation, but rather it is how they engage with their faith that counts. Immaculée wasn't saved by believing the right things. She was transformed by choosing to live the right way even when the world had collapsed. Today, she is an author and motivational speaker who shares her amazing story with people around the world. She didn't just survive. She transcended. She became a living bridge between victims and perpetrators, showing the world that her testimony has resonated with millions, particularly in how it speaks to the power of faith in overcoming hatred and in finding healing through forgiveness. Her message is one of reconciliation and the power of God's love to transform even the most broken of hearts. And here's the piece that ties all this together. Many religious survivors draw on their faith as they attempt to reconcile global meanings with painful disaster effects, often reducing dissonance by altering or expanding theodicies of suffering. In other words, they don't deny the pain. They find meaning inside it. That's the discovery that changes everything. When you're facing your own darkness, and everyone does eventually, the greatest survival story isn't about fighting to survive. It's about discovering who you become in the fight. And religious belief and practice are linked to measurable reductions in anxiety, depression, and mortality risk across large population studies. That's not luck. That's neuroscience proving what survivors have always known, that faith isn't escape. Faith is transformation. The stories that matter most aren't the ones where people escape disaster. They're the stories where disaster couldn't destroy what matters most, their humanity, their hope, their capacity to love even those who tried to destroy them. Immaculée Ilibagiza isn't famous because she hid in a bathroom for 91 days. She's famous because when she walked out, she chose forgiveness. She chose faith. She chose to become a living testament to the power of the human spirit. And that choice, available to every single one of us, is the real survival story. If today's breakdown hit you, smash that subscribe button. Drop a comment about a survival story that changed your perspective. And check the description for Immaculée's book Left to Tell. It's a masterclass in faith and resilience. Thank you for watching. We're in this together.